I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Greetings, friends, and welcome back to Campione Reacts, where we look at disastrous dating trends and, well, terrible advice coming from TikTok and the people who reside there. We're also going to dive deeply into the idea that men don't gossip. Let's see what we think about it. Joining me today is the amazing Joe Rosie, coming to us from the Real Joe Rosie channel. You got to go check her out. How you doing, Rosie?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
I love it. Joe Rosie is available on my pals X-Wing's channel. You can go check that out. I love X-Wing to death. And she's got her own offering, so you got to check this out. She's a great follow on social media. And she's here to, well, share this lovely experience of why men don't seem to get all the information all at once, because men don't gossip.
No. I just want to run through it again. Okay. What were you saying?
I said we have a wedding to go to this year. Don't forget.
Brad's wedding.
Brad's wedding, yes.
Where's the wedding?
I don't know. Probably where they live.
When is the wedding?
Later this year, probably.
When did he get engaged?
Recently, because he texted me.
Okay. So, tell me about the engagement.
He asked and she said yes.
What's the ring look like?
I don't know.
Where did he propose?
I also don't know.
How did he propose?
On one knee, I'm assuming.
How did she respond? Did she cry?
I don't know, honey. I don't know. Okay.
When's the last time you even talked to him? He's like one of your best friends?
It was probably a couple weeks ago when he told me he got engaged. Listen.
So here's the thing. Why do you come to me saying I have news when you have nothing?
I don't need all that extra fluff. We have a wedding to go to. It's later this year, probably, and we're going. That's all we need.
That's all we need. Nothing else.
Get dressed. We're going.
Look, the reason why men are like this is because all of those little detailed questions that she's asking don't really matter in the end result being that they are going to the wedding. The man is not trying to write something in the calendar where you have to know the time, location, date. What he's trying to do is establish the fact that this wedding is going to be prioritized, and he wants to make sure that she is on board so that anything that they may have in the calendar or something big that they're trying to plan, like a vacation, they will not do that until they have the date of this wedding. As far as the details of the engagement, that definitely is not at play when it comes to them making the decision to go to the wedding. And that's how men's minds work differently than women, because women get invited to something and they need to make an emotional attachment to the event. They want to know the story. They want to feel like they're included. It actually helps them look forward to the event. So I get it. I get both sides, but this is his friend. You got to remember, it's his friend. It's not your friend. If you want to know all the details, you can't harp on him for being a man and for thinking the way that he does. I think it should just be respected. And if you want to know the details, why don't you reach out? Or reach out to the fiance, girl talking to girl, you'll love it. Maybe you'll make a new friend.
Wow, I love Emily King. I say that every time we use one of her clips, but she's 100% right here. Look, what's your take? Why are men not gossipy?
It's just men and women are different. We all know that our brains are wired differently. How we communicate is different. I think this is why we wrote a book back in the 90s called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. But men just aren't interested in gossip. Any girl who's had guy friends and who's been seen, two men interacting, will notice that their conversations are just very different from ours. Women just want to know the nitty gritty details of every little thing. And men aren't like that. They're just, hey man, I got engaged. Congratulations. That's it.
Yeah, well, that's very male, but that's true. Because speaking as a guy, by the way, I'll just say I just need to know you're engaged. I need to set someday in March aside. Got it. And then when I get the update or get the invitation, that's when it's calendar. But to me, it's like, okay, I have the information. I'm going to set that information aside. And then when I get the invitation, I'll plan for it. I don't. And here's the other thing. I think, and we may run into this in some of these clips, I think that men think it's intrusive to ask too many questions when they're talking to their guy friends. Women, you dive in unafraid. It's wild.
I actually feel like men are probably in the right here. We see that a lot when, let's say they're a partner, a group, men and a woman are fighting. The woman will feel the need to go talk to their friends and tell them all the details about what happened in their relationship. And women always do this. Oh, I can't believe he did this and that and the other thing. Men won't do that. Men like to keep their relationships private and they don't go and gossip and tell stuff. They might be like, hey, man, I'm having a rough day. And then they'll be like, women, right? And that's pretty much the extent of it. So I actually prefer the way men do it because unfortunately, your friends are going to remember those situations and remember what your, friend's partner did, and you're probably going to have a grudge. So honestly, do we really need to be sharing all the details of our lives with other people? Probably not. Keep things at home private.
Yeah, especially your relationship, and your man will appreciate you more. All right, let's see what else these things are happening that make it so men don't gossip.
Oh, babe, I forgot to tell you. Bam Bam and his girl broke up. It's crazy.
What? Are you serious, babe?
I can't even believe it because they were together for 7 years. Like, down the drain.
He cheated, didn't he? What did he tell you? What happened?
Shit, I don't know. It's none of my business.
That's all you have for me?
That's all you have for me. Well, it's true. I mean, we honestly just are like, okay, that's sad. You good? That's a dude. That's exactly what a dude does when they're given this information. And then they're going to tell, their partner, oh man, bad news, those people that we know, yeah, they broke up. We didn't ask more.
I definitely think this goes back to what I was saying with the psychology of men and women. Women have this tendency to want to break every little thing down and kind of wallow in all the details, whereas men kind of just say that they're having this happen. You might see some, emotional exchange of, I'm sorry, I'm here for you. Hey, let's go out, get some beers, or let's go to Top Golf and get your mind off of stuff. And that's pretty much how men handle stuff. They just, again, it's just women or men are very different when it comes to how we handle, emotional things or whatever gossipy things that might be in our lives. Men just basically state the obvious. They might have a surface level, but they keep it private and they just don't get intrusive into other people's lives.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think you were onto something earlier, that it's probably healthier not to get all the details, because if you ever get back together with that person in this situation, right, or something like that, you're gonna see that person holding a grudge or reminding you all the time when you hit a rough patch. Oh, you remember that one time and you guys broke up? And that, first of all, you ladies remember everything. Okay, y'all are elephants like that, not in a physical way, but in the capacity to remember things. And guys, once they've dealt with it, it's done, right? They could probably recall the detail if they needed to, but most guys don't. And I think it's not a great way to process information or to retain anything from the past. Most guys don't like that. So I think you're onto something, Joe. I really do. All right, let's get to this last one and see where we're at. I think this one will help everybody understand why men don't gossip.
Women don't know the difference between being nosy and being a good friend. And I think it's because they believe that being a good friend means you are nosy because you care. For example, my friend broke up with his girl and he told me about it. He told me they got into a fight, and, after that fight, it was like, we're just better as friends. So I said, bro, I'm sorry you're going through that. I asked how he was doing and asked if he needed anything. He told me he was good, and we proceeded to play 2K. So now I rely that information over to my wife. Now my wife is asking me for follow-up questions. Who said what? Who said it first? Who broke up with who? Where was they at? How did it even happen? How did the argument even start? Ma'am, I have none of those answers for you. And after I told her that, she said, how are you even a friend? Like, you didn't ask none of these questions? No, I did not. Because those questions are not important. The most important fact is that he is single now. Is he okay? And does he need anything? Those other details is just for me to know. That's just being nosy. And then my wife said, nope, that's just because, men don't ask questions. Y'all don't know how to be friends. Well, 2 weeks later, the same friend called me back let me know how he was doing, and thank me for being there for him, listening to him if he needed anything, and giving him his space that he needed to put everything together. So women, men don't ask questions because we ask the important questions. You know what? I'm going to stop there before I get canceled.
That's a solid take, but look, I agree with everything he said. It's just, and it goes back to everything we've talked about just in these short little clips video that we're doing right now. Men get the basic information, what needs to be known, and then they don't go any further because it's not going to serve the other party well at that time. And again, I mean, you know, when it comes to breakups or whatever else, I mean, we're just there to like go shoot around to golf as you suggested, or top golf specifically, or, you know, go play some hoops or something like that. Guys will go to the gym together in that situation. You know, what do you think? You think you explained it pretty well, or you think I'm
No,
crazy?
100%. The basis of friendship is let me do something to help you. And if that is just being there, distracting, this guy played 2K with his buddy, got his mind off of it. And also, this also highlights, again, how men and women are different in how they process emotions. Men need space and quiet. It's not going to help him to be like, let me hear all the details. What did she say? Who said who? Did she cheat on you? Like, that's not going to help him overcome it. And frankly, I don't even think that helps women. I think that just helps women wallow more in their emotions and not get over it, rather than feeling supported and distracted and saying, hey, let's do something. Let's go shopping together. You know, like something that's going to get her mind off things. Instead, we're going to sit there for 2 hours and go through all the conversations. What is that going to solve? Nothing. It's just going to make her cry and going to, you know, further depress her. So I think 100% men are on the right with this one.
All right, fair enough. Well, I've got to say that was a quick 3 clips. Hopefully you enjoyed them, and maybe you learned something about the difference between men and women, and the fact that you're never going to get dudes to gossip. Maybe the gay guys, perhaps, and I've heard some of them before. I'm just going to say we don't care. We get the basic information, and we ask if we can help, and that's it. And you just and if you're looking for more ladies, you call them up. You talk to them, because I'm not going to have that. Anyway, I appreciate that. Anything you want to follow up with before we go, Joe?
Maybe we should all just go back to the 90s and read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, because clearly we just don't seem to get it. All these
so we were on to something. I agree with you. On that note, go check out Joe Rosie on her amazing YouTube and her social medias, because she's well worth it. And check her out with my pal X-Wing for the Xcast every week, because that's a lot of fun as well. And on that note, for Campione Reacts, we're out.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.